Hi, today I'm going to show you how to build the AI content LinkedIn system that will help you to source different sources for content idea, automate content creation, and mimic your own voice and style to finally deliver you automated LinkedIn posts. They just have to edit the last 10 or 20% of the posts and get them online. Creating a good personal brand is one of the main success factors that I've seen in the last 10 years. You already know all of this, but I promise you, starting to create new and good content, even if you use other traffic sources as your main lead generation process, like ads or cold outreach, will help you to book way more minis and it will make your life when trying to close those deals a lot easier. And to make sure that I show you that this system actually works, I want to print here on the screen. In some posts we got 200 plus reactions, in some others we got 11,000 impressions. So this system has been proved by myself and some customers that I work with. And today I'm going to show you a demo of this system and you see how you can set a business overview, your ideal customer profile, how you can set your preferred content topics to make sure that it always follows your marketing and market strategy. You see how this system allows you to pick best LinkedIn posts that either performed well or you like the brand and tonality that you have used and mimic them in the new contents that the system will create automatically. And finally, you're going to see how you can use other contents from maybe a LinkedIn creator you really like or a YouTube channel that inspires you. Get those contents, add your own thoughts, your own perspective, and make new content based on those other pieces that have already been validated by the market and performed well, and then you use them as basis to create your own. If you don't know me yet, I'm Leo. I've been building marketing and sales systems for B2B companies. I not only have worked with more than 100 B2B companies already, but I've been using these same systems that I'm going to show you now for myself and for the companies that I created, like the Martech that I run now for lead generation, or the SaaS that I founded a while ago and that I was invested by one of the biggest venture capital firms in the world. So without further ado, let's dive in and see what the system actually does. So as you can see here, we can configure all of the information about our company. We can choose what other LinkedIn posts we want to use as a reference for the AI system, so it will mimic the voice and style from this list of reference posts. And then of course, the list of generated posts are the posts that we actually generate with the system, right? So if we go to this tab in here, I have one company as an example in here, which is one of my own companies. We have some key information like company name, company website, some key things that we need to fill in previously. So for instance, our LinkedIn and some creators that we want to use as references. So I'm using a few guys here from the lead generation space as two LinkedIn profiles that we want to kind of mimic their voice and style, and also of course the posts that I have myself. And here, the system will generate, once I click this button in here, a full business overview about my company, my ICP, ideal customer profiles, or the type of company that we want to work with or that we work with the most in here, the main value propositions that we bring to the market, and our content guidelines, right? So we could have this set for multiple companies. And of course, that we could also, instead of having companies in here, we could have maybe a marketing leader that will write for other marketing leaders with a specific type of content guidelines. And then maybe you have a operations director, which will have another type of ICP who he will speak with, and maybe other types of things who will communicate with this other type of audience. So not only companies, we could also set different types of profiles in this case and automate content generation for different people inside the same organization as well. So once I click in here, it will start populating automatically, scraping my website, scraping my LinkedIn account to go and preview all of this information in here. So now I'm gonna click in here and you guys are going to see that the end-to-end backend that we'll have is going to start a new execution after we did this. So as you can see here, new execution is happening right now. It'll take maybe a minute or so. So I will pause the video right now. So now the system has already generated the business overview, ICP, value proposition, and content guidelines. As you can see here, it's fully editable and it says exactly what we do, right? So we are a performance consulting firm. We're based in Brazil. Some of our ICPs are B2B companies, the value proposition that we bring, and content guidelines that we can use. So that will make sense for us, right? So you see that the content guideline is in Portuguese. At some point, we managed to create in different languages according to the company's preferences. So in this case, you're seeing this in Portuguese, but of course this can be added, and maybe we don't want to have this content topic here, we want to delete it, so it's completely editable. So another thing that the system did is that it scraped posts from those LinkedIn creators I gave as reference, and it brought me those posts in here, so I can choose which ones I want to mimic in my next post, right? So I have some posts from different guys in here. So maybe let's get this post in here so you guys can see, and some other posts in here as well, right? So this might be from Lemlist CEO, and this one is author that I provided. So you can see the post in here. This other post in here is from another really good service provider in the tech and marketing space. So let's say that we want to use maybe this post here as a reference, maybe this other post in here. We also are filtering through the amount of likes that they have. So this other post and this other post. And I do have some posts that I created myself as well. But right now I won't. Let's say that I just selected these 4 or 5 posts that we want to use as reference. And then when we go here to generate a post, and I already select some other pieces of content that we want to use as references. So for instance, this video from YouTube that I actually recorded, and I'm showing how to build a cold outreach system that runs through AI. So we're using this video as a content source to go and repurpose it with a new LinkedIn post, but using this on the background, right? So what we're going to do here is to add a new post. Then I'm going to paste that video's URL. I'm going to choose that is a YouTube repurposing. And maybe I want to give some custom instruction on tell how one of my B2B customer wasn't able to generate demand through cold outreach, but with this system and doing things in a automated way, he was able to save 60 hours per month in manual work, and also started closing 2 to 3 new customers per month, right? So I'm giving some custom instructions. I'm choosing the CTA that we want to close, the call to action that we want to use at the end of the video. So maybe follow for more, right? Some soft call to action. And then we're going to use some story-based posts to have a nice storytelling in there. And I'm going to choose from which company this post belongs to, right? So this is Donnu, my own company. Once I click create in here, we can also see another automation running on the background. So let me just refresh this, and we're going to see in a second another automation being triggered. So as you guys can see here, so it's now generating the content. I'm going to pause the video for a sec and show you when it's done. So I know that all of this might be a little bit overwhelming, and you might not want to learn how to do this yourself, or you don't have the time to do this yourself. If that's your case, let me know. There's a link on the description in here. You can click, schedule a call, and I'll be glad to help you on how to implement this or even implement it for you in your own company. And as you can see here, the post has already been generated. So this video here, speaks about a code outreach system. I gave some additional instruction. As you can see here, it already generated the post. And it follows the specific style and tone of voice that I wanted. It mimics previous posts that I used as reference. So it's with short phrase, short paragraphs, shows specific ways, give some specific numbers on the impact that this system brought to customers, and of course that we can come in here and give some editings before I actually go and post this, but the post is 80% done, right? And what we could also do is get maybe another post as a reference. So let me get maybe this post in here and use as a reference to create a new content. So copy, sorry, this was in Portuguese. And now we're going to ask for a new post, but we want to mimic, or actually want to use this post as a reference, right? So it's a LinkedIn, and let's see, what's this post about? It's how Lemlist crossed this much money. I don't want to give any custom instruction for now. I'm going to just let it create by itself. We'll use a comment with your own ideas, call to action, and maybe a insight focused question. Maybe I will add some custom instructions. Use this story as a background to show how I admire Lemlist path until here, and how I'm trying to do the same with my own company. Right, so I'm going to click create again and stop the video again so you guys can see once it's done the second post. So now as you guys can see that we already have the new post, and it says here, so Lemlist just crossed 34 million ARR, a masterclass on how to operationalize a full funnel, data-driven, then kind of shows the main key points of their journey. I mentioned on the instruction that I wanted to show that I respect and how I look up, I don't know, how in this example, right, how I admire Lemlist and how I'm trying to do the same thing for my own company. So that's what he does here. And then if you have ideas on how to turn your team into a content engine or want to share what's working for you, drop your perspective in the comments below, right? So of course, there's things here that need to change and edit a little bit, but the post is here 80%, pretty much all done. And from here, we could as well go and post on our LinkedIn profile, right? So now let's go and deep dive on each section of this system here and to see how it's actually been built. So the way this works is that Airtable allows us to build that cool interface and get data from simple spreadsheets that you could have into the database itself. So right here, I have a setup where I'm gonna have a different list of companies that that the system can generate content for, and we can select. So let's say that company A, only user X will have access, and then for company B, only user Y will have access, and so on and so forth, right? So we can limit the access that different users might have for this system. So let's say that you're using this same system for different companies, you can do so, or if you're in one organization only, but then you want Peter, who is in marketing, to see only marketing related things, and then maybe John, who is in operations, only to see operational related posts, right? So you can separate that there. And he also creates the reference posts that we wanted. So here we have all the posts that were created and the ones that we selected that we wanted to mimic from now on. And of course, the posts that were also generated through the system, right? So here the 2 posts that we just did, right? So the way that this is being done on the background is that we have an automation in N8N that as soon as we have a new company inside our database, it will use an AI agent to research about this company and their market, and also to the main topics that would probably be a good idea for them to create content around. And then we will organize all of this information and update the tables with that, right? So basically, once we have a new company here, it will pop up into this webhook. We're going to be able to access information about that particular company. So everything that we have in this company database in here. So for instance, in here, we're going to be able to access their website, their LinkedIn profile, the user LinkedIn profile, and the references, the creators that we gave as references. And then we use that information to feed into a AI agent that gets all of this information, as I just said, and then have a few tools where it will basically get information about the company, run a deeper research on the background, and then use this to create some very specific outputs, which is a business overview, value proposition, and the ideal customer profile for that company, right? And then we have a second agent here, because this part here is really important, which is the content guidelines, right? So again, we're giving all of the information that we have about the company, and now we also have the business overview, value proposition, and ideal customer profile that we just created. And what we're doing now is that we're giving all of the information. We are providing the specific types of things that generally make sense for any company to speak about. And then we're asking these agents to customize these different kind of topics, but customize to their market, to their business overview, to their ICP, to their marketing guidelines, right? And then it customizes and creates a customized content guideline as we saw on the interface, and of course, as we can also see in here on the on the back end of the database itself, right? So after this is done, we have another request in here that will get some other fields. And in here, what we're doing is we have an AppFi scraper that once we get these, let me actually go to interface again, just so I can show it in an easier way for you guys. So remember that we gave a few LinkedIn creators that we wanted to kind of mimic their voicing style or kind of source the LinkedIn post that they already had. So this is what we're doing here. We're calling a AppFi scraper that will get the posts from those 2 creators in this example that we gave. So what this model here does is that you get these 20 contents, let's say on total, that we got from those 2 creators. We'll analyze all of them and see which one of them actually makes sense for us to have in our system and possibly mimic them, and maybe some others that just don't make sense for us to have on our system, right? So we're creating an output here to say, hey, this is a good fit or is a bad fit, and then for the posts that are a good fit, we're writing them into our database. The ones that are not a good fit, we're just ignoring them and going to the next one, right? And then this is for scraping other creators' posts. And once this is done, we then go and start scraping our own posts, right? So in here we see the posts that I have made in the past, and we even have a filter in here to select posts only with in this case more than 10 likes or engagements, and then also putting them into our system so we can select which post we want to use or not as a reference, right? So this is one of the automation that are being run on the back end. And then once we want to generate new posts, right? You guys remember that we come here to this form in here. We present a YouTube link or a blog post. We give some instructions. We say the call to action we want to use, the content angle. We click create, and as soon as it happens, we have this other workflow here that is triggered. So this webhook here is run, and then what it does is it will see what kind of source or what kind of content are we trying to scrape. So if it's a YouTube video, we're using a scraper that will get the YouTube video, create the transcript with only the text file, so we can feed later on for the other AI models that we're using on the system, right? If it's a blog post, then we're also using other scraper. We're scraping that blog post, transforming into a single text, and also feeding an AI model later on the process. And if it's a LinkedIn post, then of course we're also scraping that LinkedIn post and transforming the data so we can use later on. So we basically here are treating the data and making sure that it's usable, it's in a way that we can actually use and feed AI models to learn from that post. If we have posts that have a LinkedIn image connected to it, or I don't know, any other type of image, we can also use a module from OpenAI to analyze that image, learn from it, and also use those insights when we're creating a new post. That's also being done in here. And once all of this is done, then we're doing a few things. Number one, we're taking into consideration the main ideas that are being discussed on those pieces of content, and we're running a deep research in Perplexity to get more data, more statistics about that topic. So here we're doing basically two things. Number one, we are getting all of the information that we got from the LinkedIn post or the YouTube video that we want to repurpose. We're getting all the main topics on that content. We're getting our business overview, the ICP we want to speak with, the content topics that we want to speak, and we're using a deep research module from Perplexity to find extra content, extra statistics about the same content or about the same topics that we will create our content, right? And then this other AI module here, what it does is it gets all of the extra information that we got from Perplexity and also the previous information that we already had to create kind of an overview of what our content should have, right? So it combines all of the instructions that we gave so far and creates a outline for our content. And then what this other assistant here does is to actually go and to actually create the content, right? We're separating what each agent here is doing just so they can be better and do it more effectively, right? When you ask AI to do a lot of things at once, the performance or the quality of this work can drop significantly. So this is why we're separating each step. And then here what we have is we're getting the content guidelines, the previous node created, we're getting the context from the piece of content we want to repurpose, we're getting the custom instructions we sent, we're getting the context about our company, our audience, our content guidelines, and we're creating the piece of content also mimicking the LinkedIn references post that we chose to mimic. So we're doing all that in here, and then we're finally creating a title for that piece of company and updating updating Airtable with it, right? Something more specific about this part here, or something on the automation, or something on how to assemble these different tables, or if you guys want to know how to assemble these different tables here in Clay, let me know in the comments. We can record a specific video on how to do any of those things. If you need help implementing a system like this to your company, make sure to follow and subscribe, because I'll keep posting other videos and templates like this one. If you want a template of this same system in here, you can let me know. I'll send it over to you, no cost, it's free. And if you need help to implement something like this in your company, but help to actually go and do this for you and customize your own needs, make sure to book a call on the link below and we can have a quick chat. And if you like this content, please make sure to follow and subscribe for this channel. You help me a lot, and you will also keep seeing other videos like this that I'm posting every week. Thank you a lot for watching, and that's it. Bye, thanks.